What's going on, everyone? My pal Palantir. Just released their earnings. So originally it was for February 13th, but now it's been updated to February 5th. So mark your calendars for February 5th because Palantir is going to knock it out of the park. At least that's what it's looking like so far. So there's a lot of new things going on with Palantir. They landed some new clients. They're getting the commercial side of their business going, their government contract side of things with their defensive AI software is also thriving. So we need to cover all these things and also understand where and how Palantir is currently trading so we can make a good guesstimate of where Palantir may be trading in the future. But before we get into it, if you could please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and family. It really helps me out a lot. Let's go ahead and get into the numbers now. So when Palantir recently decided to join forces with Israel, I think it did a lot for its stock value to many different investors because a lot of people initially had the fear that Palantir would use its defensive military AI abilities and software on things that necessarily wouldn't really strengthen US negotiations with other countries or possibly be put into the United States enemy's hands. So it's been shown that obviously Palantir wants to do the right things with their technology, which may help the confidence of many other US leaders. Now, also, when their technologies are being used in Israel and it shows to be successful, I'm sure other governments across the United States are going to be interested in this kind of software, which is really good because the way I look at it for defensive AI software sales on for Palantir, the more of those they get, that's kind of their bread and butter, right? They get a nice juicy contract for 2 3 years for hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, that's a nice stable income coming in, and that money allows them to go do more R&D, right? They get to do more research and development. And if you looked at their expense report, you know that Palantir loves spending money on R&D, but it's not a bad thing to be spending money on, right? So the more that the company researches and develops, the more opportunities they have to grow and branch out into different streams of revenue. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about next. So not only was this a major news catalyst that Israel and Palantir partnered up on a defensive contract, what's also amazing is that now Palantir is branching out into the commercial side of things, which I've talked about in previous videos, how they're getting more involved with the health insurance sector of business, so to speak, healthcare services sector of business. So let's go ahead and get into the other major news catalyst so that we can better determine what's going on before earnings, because I can't tell you how to trade earnings if you're not aware of what's going on. So let's go ahead and deep dive into the second major catalyst that Palantir has had recently in these last 2 weeks or so. So the next major catalyst that has happened with Palantir is that they signed a contract with a Colorado college. Now, this may seem very small and insignificant in comparison to something like, a government contract for $500+ million. And if you're thinking that it might look small, you're right. It is small in comparison, but you're not thinking big picture. You're just thinking, ooh, I got a big lump sum of money, so therefore I'm more rich. No, if you have more access to more clients and clientele, think about it. If they do a good job in this healthcare system in this Colorado college, there's tens of thousands of colleges just alone in the United States. That opens up many streams of revenue for many different consumers within one sector of business. So what Palantir is doing is it's constantly innovating. It's constantly putting money into research and development. They're constantly finding new clients because they are good at what they do. They have a service that they know works. They're so confident about their service and how it works is that they're willing to let people try it for a couple weeks free, no charge. And if it betters their systems or makes their life easier in some way, shape, or form, then they'll allow the client and them to sit down and sign a contract for it. I mean, what company do you know that's so confident that their product is amazing that they basically have a, you know, 30-day money back guarantee? Not a lot of companies are doing that, okay? Especially in this realm of things and business, right? So Palantir is just very innovative. They remind me a lot of Meta, not because they're anything alike business wise, but I feel like their CEOs both are competitive. They're driven. They want to continue to find different streams of revenue. They want to be the best at what they do, and they want to keep finding different ways to be successful. It's kind of the complete opposite of how Twitter was, right? That's why Twitter never fluctuated in price. It always stayed at $40 a share. It pretty much never had any big swings up or down because they were flat. They always did the same thing. It was just a place where people could post information, and that was kind of it, right? They never did anything different. They never, thought outside of the box. Palantir easily could have pigeonholed themselves and just done defensive military contracts for the rest of their lives and call it a day. But instead, they want to get into the healthcare system and find better ways to use their technology to service the world. Business models like that and leaders who lead a business like that often are top class in the future. Okay, so for me personally, if you're a long-term investor, I think Palantir has an exponential growth rate. It's really um, not really capped at any point at all. But what I'm about to go over with you is the short term and what I think is going to happen in this current trading week and leading up to earnings. So, looking at Palantir's yearly numbers last year, we saw that they had a 33% year over year growth in the US customer commercial revenue. They were also up 37% year over year on commercial customer count. So, again, this college deal was a huge deal. We want to see Palantir branching out, not just receiving income from the government contracts. The government contracts, if Palantir was a tree, would kind of be the roots of Palantir, right? And the branches are them going out to other business sectors like these colleges and using their AI software for those things. Now, for me as an investor, it gets me really excited about quarter four earnings to see that they keep landing clients. There's more and more people requesting to use their defensive AI software. I think Wall Street is definitely coming around to Palantir. However, there has been about 16 different earnings price changes, but that means that, hey, maybe we're underplaying Palantir a little bit. Maybe we need to keep raising because oh wow, they're doing this and now they got this customer and they got that client. Okay, I see you, Palantir. So they keep raising up their price target now and their expectations because they are signaling that they are quite bullish on Palantir. So I think leading up to it, I have seen Palantir trading around the $15 range, that really high 15s like 15.90, 15.75. Now, if I previously wasn't a shareholder already in Palantir, if I was willing to hold this stock long term, I would be comfortable buying in the $16 to $15 range. Now, if I'm playing the short term, I want to try to get in as low as possible. So maybe try to wait to see if it goes to the 14s. Personally, I don't think it's going to the 14s anytime soon, but if they miss on earnings, it could definitely start trading again in the 13s again. Or if we get bad news from the Fed, recently the Fed spoke and um, it wasn't good news, but it wasn't bad news. They don't want to raise rates. They understand that inflation is crippling a lot of people, that the CPI is too high, but they don't really have a plan on how to resolve that yet, right? So it's kind of left the market in a downward spiral right now, a little bit of a downward trend. It's not completely falling off a cliff, but you could see that not too many investors were happy about that. They want the market to continue staying bullish. But Palantir has held pretty well in the $16 range despite all that, whereas a lot of other stocks fell much further down. So we might be seeing the 16s just be the new support level for Palantir. And I think with a strong earnings, I think we could easily see this stock go into the $20 range again. And if they really, really knock it out of the park, then I could definitely see, just due to the fact that how trendy Palantir is and the fact that it's not controlled like SoFi 100% by the traders, but also by has institutional backing as well. I really think we could see this stock going to $25 if they just absolutely hammer earnings. I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll beat expectations, but I don't think they're going to beat by some insanely high amount over what's projected. But we'll see what happens. So remember, mark your calendars for February 5th. I hope this video helped give you a little more perspective and education on Palantir itself. I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for watching. Hey guys, my subscribers nearly doubled on that SoFi video. Got over 1,000 views on the single video. That was a new record for me. So thank you all again so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this content as much as you did the last video. If there's any stocks you want me to cover, let me know down below in the comments.